Sometimes vintage mannequins are exactly what you need to promote a certain style of clothes or product. Normally vintage mannequins are mannequins from a past era, and they can be modern replicas or actual mannequins from that era. And the mannequins, when you place them in a shop window, provide a sense of timelessness. The question is which era to choose from. The eras that depict the most interest are the 1930s and the 1960s, and it could be that those times reflect the good prosperous times or times of social change. In addition, these mannequins generate interest and appeal just from a nostalgic association with those times. One of the objectives in marketing is differentiation, which is standing out from the competition or the crowd, especially in a crowded marketplace. The implementation of a vintage mannequin generates attention by presenting a point of difference, and it can also show what your shop stands for and what it's about. Remember that mannequins are fundamentally important in making sure that the message is communicated using a visual display. Since the 1940s, we've seen a substantial change in the body size of people, and older style mannequins are smaller in proportion and height, where today's mannequins are fuller figured and taller. So consequently, the use of a vintage mannequin body to display today's clothes may not be appropriate, because the body doesn't really do the clothes justice. But what you can do is use a vintage head on a body. This will differentiate the mannequin in the window and the store display and provide relevance to today's body size. And vintage heads can be fitted to any mannequin to provide an individual appearance. A high percentage of vintage mannequins were dressmaker forms and tailor forms because that was the sort of apparel that was worn at the time. But vintage heads can be fixed to any sort of similar modern form to provide that sense of antiqueness. Now, mannequin construction has changed quite a bit over the years. In the early days, mannequins were made from wire, paper mache and plaster, and these were quite heavy and aren't really suitable or appropriate in the current era with safety issues and all sorts of rules and regulations. So more recently, mannequins have been constructed from fiberglass, and this provides a more lightweight mannequin and a much nicer finish. And as advanced moulding materials have been introduced, more details in heads have become possible. And you can see this in the mid to late part of the last century, where details and features on heads are far more intricate and well designed. So today mannequins are made from a variety of materials, including fiberglass and various plastics. And the advantage of these materials is that they allow the mannequins to be repaired and fixed up without starting from scratch all the time. Now, if you're interested in acquiring a vintage mannequin or need any help with a vintage display, feel free to contact us. We're mannequinsareus.net, and it's an Australian number, +61 2 95 60 6 222. Thank you very much for your time.